What is the pleasure of Senator Marcoleta?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the agenda, I can see that Yusek Maria Catalina Cabral was invited, but I don't see her in this room, Mr. Chair. Why?
May we hear from Secretary Vince Dizon?
Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, good morning po sa members ng Blue Ribbon Committee, honorable members of the committee. I think for former Undersecretary Cabral, I just want to inform the body that I officially accepted the courtesy resignation of Undersecretary Cabral 2 nights ago. And I believe, Mr. Chairman, that I think she wrote a letter. No, she informed me by message late last night that she had written the committee to inform her of that, to inform the committee of her of the acceptance of her courtesy resignation, and thus I think requested not to attend. But of course, even if she is now just a private citizen and no longer part of the DPWH, I'm sure if the committee will require her to attend, she still must attend. But now no longer as a official of DPWH, but as a private citizen.
Thank you, Secretary Dizon, for the information.
Mr. Chair, I don't think her resignation will shield her from her responsibility. There are personal questions that we need to ask her. More particularly, Mr. Chair, your own expose, I still recall in your last privilege speech, her text message to Senator Soto is very damning. I mean, it is something that we need to properly process. It is something that is probably within the heart of the system of DPWH. So kahit na mag-resign po siya, it will not matter to us. There are personal questions that we need to ask. Salamat po.
And the chair agrees. So if there is an motion to issue a subpoena and or subpoena duces tecum, then we'll put it into a vote.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move that former Yusek Cabral be still invited to appear before this committee.
Invited or issue a subpoena?
Or issue a subpoena. Better, Mr. Chair.
Any objection?
I second the motion.
Properly seconded. So ordered.
Mr. Chairman, if I may po, just to
yes, please, Secretary.
Consistent with this po, we have also made public that while former Undersecretary Cabral is no longer with the DPWH, we have been very clear in the new leadership of the DPWH that this does not in any way stop us from continuing our internal investigations on finding out who should be liable for the clear crimes that have been committed against our people. So we will continue that investigation regardless of whether she or any others will no longer be part of the DPWH. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Some administrative announcements. Secretary Dizon and the AMLC representatives present here asked the chair to be excused by noon time. So if there are questions that will be addressed to them, kindly ask the questions before 12 noon. Thank you very much. So Senator Pangilinan is recognized.
Mr. President, I just conferred with the Vice Chairman. We are exchanging slots. He will go first and then I will follow.
Chairman of the committee is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Vice Chairman of this committee, let me state at the outset, this investigation would not have been necessary had the concerned agencies simply did their job. The truth is they did not. What we see is negligence, if not outright complicity, that allowed this flood control anomaly to thrive. Nobody lifted a finger. Nobody fulfilled their mandate. Nobody cared. As if corruption has already become the norm in this country. Or is it not? Is it? Is corruption normal in this country? This is what this hearing is all about, to come up with a law so this will never ever happen again. Let me start with the GPBB. Are you here? the Government Procurement Policy Board. Can you come forward, please? I have some questions for you.
Yes, please kindly come forward and take your seats. Na-administer na sila.
Classmate, seatmate. Dito na lang, wala ka sa mabusin. Oo, sige.
Oo, kaya na.
And also, do we have the representative from the Bureau of Internal Revenue here? Committee Secretary?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Sige, pati ano yan sa GP po. Sige, go ahead. Administer.
Kindly stand and raise your right hand. I already have. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Please proceed.
Can you identify yourself, please? Resource person.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, honorable members of the committee. I'm Maria Ginesha Rivera Guillermo. I'm actually the officer in charge of the Government Procurement Technical Support Office. I'm as well as an appointed Deputy Director General, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the data, Mr. Chair, from the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, among the top 15 contractors that have been named by the President, the following had a poor, unsatisfactory contractor's performance evaluation. Tama po ba? Nagbigay po kayo ng ilan? Tama po ba itong report ng PCIJ, itong SunWest, Legacy, EGB, Equiparco, MG Samidan, LRTK Builders, ay ilan lamang at High Tone at Real Road Edge, ay ilan lamang sa mga kontratista na may poor or unsatisfactory contractor's performance? Mr. Chair?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, the CPES report or the Contractor's Performance Evaluation System report bears those po as the unsatisfactory po na rating nila sa CPES. Just to clarify, if I may, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, the CPES is posted po sa GPPB website. However, this is being provided po by the CIAP po. And it's part of our mandate to be providing this po as part of our transparency measure with respect to government procurement.
So totoo po ito, yung report na ito pong 8 contractor na ito out of the 15 that were named, meron po silang poor unsatisfactory performance. Tama po?
If we,
Ma'am,
Mr.
just
Chair,
say kung tama or hindi po tama.
it bears, yes, Your Honor, it's in the report po.
All right. Now, my next question, what do you do pag meron po mga unsatisfactory na mga report na ganitong contractor? Ito po ba ipopost lang ninyo? Hindi nyo pa bibigyan ang DPWH ang PICAB na report na at pagkatapos po, correct me if I'm wrong, pag may mga ganito po poor performance, di po ba bina-blacklist po ninyo ito? Tama po din ba itong report na natatanggap ko? They're blacklisted?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, may I clarify po that the CPES report is prepared by the CIAP.
Okay.
And then the CIAP is actually having a lot of CIAP implementing offices, which of course they have to accredit. One of which is meron po ang DPWH na tinatawag po nilang CPES unit po, implementing unit. So they do this, the report is coming from them, it's being consolidated and given to the PDCB, the Philippine Domestic Construction Board. And then, binibigay po yun na copy sa amin, sa GPPB TSO, as part po, kaya po pinopost din po namin yon. Ngayon po, when it comes now to the rating, we do not do the blacklisting because this is the part po yan ng procuring entity. Now, if I may explain further po, what's the purpose of the CPES rating insofar as the procurement law is concerned? Under RA 9184 po, before this is only being looked into, kapag ka-part po siya ng submission to support po yung single largest completed contract ng isang contractor. Meaning po, kapag magbibid po sila, yun po ay hinihingi as part po ng SLCC, yung sinusuportahan po niya. Pero hindi po yun automatically na tinitingnan kasi kung halimbawa nag-submit din po yung ating bidder ng notice of yung acceptance, then our certificate of final acceptance, then that is only an alternate, an option po yung CPES. But under now sa ating procurement law, NGPA, tatlong bagay na po na ginagamit na po yung CPES. Although even under RA 9184, it's already basis for blacklisting. But the blacklisting is at the end po yun ng procuring entity. So, that's a ground po for blacklisting under even RA 9184. Now, under RA 12009, it's now being considered as one of the ways to determine po yung eligibility, capacity po ng ating subcontractors. So, nire-require na po yun as part of the submission if there would be any subcontractors. Number 2 is the same pa rin po as supporting document din po siya ng single largest completed contract, pero hindi po siya yung automatically, option po siya. Kasi kung nakapag-provide naman po yung ating yung bidder for that project ng kanyang certificate of final acceptance, then they are able to no longer look into the CPES. Pero third, which is also very strengthened under RA 12009, is the requirement na yung CPES po could be the basis for blacklisting. But as I would emphasize, it's not GPPB Technical Support Office nor even our GPPB who's doing the blacklisting, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
So kayo nga ang nagba-blacklisting.
No, Mr. Chair.
Sino po ang nagba-blacklisting sa mga
it's-
kontraktor na ito na may poor and unsatisfactory performance?
It would
Which
be the
agency?
procuring entity. It would be the agency, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
You mean to say the DPWH, is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Let me go to the Department of Public Works and Highways. Mr. Chairman, my question is, ano po nangyari dito? DPWH, Mr. Chair, bakit hindi po natutunugan na blacklisted po ito, poor and satisfactory performance, o meron pong itong mga slippage kung tawagin? Bakit nakalusot lalo na po itong sila Diskaya? Napakadaming proyekto dito, napakadaming poor and unsatisfactory performance, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman, sa napakaganda at importanteng tanong. Yan din po ang tanong natin nung tayo po ay pumasok sa DPWH nitong nakaraang 2 linggo. At to give you a straight answer, Mr. Chairman, tingin ko po, ito pong mga CPES na ito at iba pang mga safeguards at iba pang mga dapat gawin ng ahensya ay hindi po ginagawa nitong nakaraan. That is the simple answer. In fact, Mr. President, ang nakakagulat pa po dito, hindi lang po bad performance ang hindi na-monitor at hindi na-actionan. In fact, marami po tayong nakita na isiniwagat na rin po ni Senator Lacson, ng ating chairman, sa kanyang privilege speech. Marami pa po dito mga proyekto na hindi lang bad for performance, no performance at all. In fact, marami pong mga ghost project na on record, may mga papeles po tayo at ito nga po naging basehan natin sa mga kasong final natin nitong nakaraang linggo na kahit na ang term ng kontrata, for example, 250, 300 days, lumalabas po sa mga papeles, miraculously, natapos po kuno itong mga proyektong to at nabayaran po itong ibang mga contractor dito within months.
Alright.
Sign po ito nitong mga ibang nandito ngayon as completed. At nabayaran po itong mga kontratang ito. So clearly po, hindi po ginagamit itong CPES at kung ano-ano pang mga dapat ginagamit ng ahensya para i-monitor ng tama ang implementasyon ng mga proyekto. That is the straight answer po that I can give the Honorable Committee. At nakikita po natin ito hindi lamang sa mga kontrata sa Bulacan, kundi nakikita na rin po natin ito sa ibang kontrata sa iba pang lugar.
Actually, Mr. Chair, sa Bulacan, sa First District, araw lang po ang binibilang at nababayaran po ang contractor. Anyway, in the course of in your investigation, Mr. Chair, what are the ghost projects added to the list? and substandard?
Right now po, we have received more than 100 reports already in only 2 weeks of ghost or very substandard projects. And right now po, ang track po ng bagong team sa DPWH ay unang-una dahil nga po nabuo na ng ating Pangulo ang Independent Commission for Infrastructure. Kami po ngayon ay in very, very close coordination sa kanila. Bawat po project na nare-report, nagbubukas po kami ng case file dito. Ini-inspection po natin either personally or yung pong mga ibang kasama natin sa team. Ngayon po kasama na po ang members at team ng ICI, lalong-lalo na po ang special advisor ngayon ng ICI na si ang mayor po ng Baguio City, si Mayor Benji Magalong. So, ganun po ang ginagawa natin at kapag nagbi-build up po tayo ng kaso, kada proyekto, ini-inspect po natin, chine-check ang records, at pag meron pong nakitang klarong anomalya, either ghost o napaka-substandard, at napatunayan po na meron pong mga contractor na nabayaran na kahit na hindi pa tapos or non-existent ang proyekto, immediately po, bumubuo na po tayo ng kaso na either ifa-file or in this case po na nabuo na po ang komite, ang komisyon, pinapasa na po natin sa komisyon.
All right, Mr. Chair.